sit back a little bit. Or no, I'm gonna move up.
Okay. we are back at it again. Yo, New Day.
Young Mally, what up though?
What's up? What's up, man? We back at it once again. Another week. What's the science with the Lab Coat Boys? And look who we have with us today.
We have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen.
She out there shining bright like a diamond. You know what I mean? Lock Nation all day with the red locks. What's up, Angel? What's up? Talk to him.
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here. So
you're on the West Coast right now. What time is it on the West Coast?
4:06 p.m. So your 7 is my 4.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what time it is right now. So I was excited. I was actually looking forward to this. So I'm happy that I'm here because I got me and Nudie go way back.
Yes.
Me and you done built a strong relationship. So
yes.
Yeah. So this is very organic for me.
That's good. That's good. Yo, man, so many things has been happening in the world right now. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. We all trying to figure it out. We all been trying to pivot and make things happen, as we've been in this pandemic. So I guess we could just jump right on in it. How has the pandemic treated you?
Before we go on, we need a warm introduction.
Okay. I actually want to read it because I didn't know Angel was so freaking popping. Like I knew she was popping, but then I was like, God damn, she popping. Hold on, I want to read. I want to read this.
Please do.
Queen Angel. I'll put this part. I said Queen Angel is multifaceted. She is a proud mom. She is an international brand and talent manager. Ooh. She's a consulting genius and a serial entrepreneur. She is the CEO of Bekke Beauty. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did.
She is the CEO of Hustler's Feast, and she's also the CEO of MOD VUE Life. Popping. And you know what's crazy? I'm so hyped because I seen the creation of 2 of these businesses, Bekke and Hustler's Feast, and both of them doing popping. Popping.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's get right into it, yo. So Nudie and Angel, y'all go back. Where do y'all go back from? Tell the people where y'all go back from.
Delaware State. Delaware State University, HBCU.
Yes.
Nudie threw the best parties. He organized a lot of the stuff that me and my friends went to. And if Nudie's name or his homeboys, what was the name of that company again? I can't remember.
Star and Drama Entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
If that name wasn't on it, it was questionable. So me and Nudie go way back from then.
Yep.
And them Jones is always popping.
Always popping. Angel always been in her grind. I remember you hit me about was it Philly? It was Philly Mag, right? You was working with the magazine.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I remember you was doing that, and you always had your hand into something. You was always moving, and we always cross paths, and here we are again. Years later, you still you've been consistent. That's one thing in the game that a lot of people take for granted is you can start and stop, but I always say if you slow down, as long as you don't stop. And a lot of times people start, stop, but once you stop, you got to start all the way back over from round one. So you've been consistently, going and you are growing. You in LA now, and you doing some amazing things, and then we gonna get into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So right from the rip, like what got you into what it is that you're doing? You went from Delaware. You had a little stint in Philly. Now you're in LA. What initially got you into what it is that you're doing? Like, what was the start? Where was the vision at when you first started? How did you get to where you're going right now?
Well, when I was in Del State, before graduating, my mindset was always like entrepreneurs and business. Just wanting to own something, like I just felt like a job, like how they would tell you what your degree could amount in a salary.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't make sense for me. They're like, oh, if you have a bachelor's and you're gonna make 40 to 50,000. If you have a master's, you're gonna make 60 to 70. If you have a PhD, you can make 100,000. Like I was just like, That's it. I ain't see nothing that says millions. You know, like I'd rather work all my life trying to get that than to settle for something that I know won't be that, you know? So that was always my mindset. And then when I moved to Philly, I immediately got thrown into entertainment because of the circle I was around. So at the time it was like this guy named Jay Street, Mike Knox, Gilly the Kid. Like these were the first people set up entertainers that I knew. Meat Mill. Like I'm talking like the first 2 months I was in Philly, you know, straight from Del State, going being around, you know, this group of people. And I started managing the kid Jay Street. Then later I started like getting close with another rapper, Oskino, and just kind of like I always had like some type of like helping hand in all of their careers, whether it went far or not. Another person I was really excited about managing was Mont Brown. Mont Brown is now like the A&R at Columbia, but I managed him for some time, and I was working with him and a producer. Um, so it was like just me just having like my hands in and out of so many things and just being a part of like so many different situations kind of like, you know, gave me a lot of experience. So then when I finally got my first like, you know, foot in the door to do into like real entertainment business, it was with Slip and Slide. They had an artist here in California about 8, 9 years ago that they wanted me to work with. And it was supposed to be a temporary project where we were here for like 6 months and then you know, not be here permanently, kind of like test out the developmental side of it.
Right.
Just me being in this space alone while working with her was already like relationship after relationship. And people from Philly coming out to LA and then kind of like, you know, stamping me like, yo, she been doing this shit since back in Philly. And then that kind of like is transitioning into other things. And it's just like when you're around a bunch of people that are doing the same thing as you, why would you stop? You know? So stopping was never a part of like the plan. If anything, if I slowed down, I never stopped. If I was going fast, then you just figure out a way to balance things, you know? So for me, that's how I got started in the entertainment and it just kept on growing. And it's very challenging, but a part of the challenge that I feel seemed very fit for me, it created character.
Right.
So the character eventually created who I was. Even like the name Queen being in front of Angel, it's not because, you know, flowers was thrown on my feet and this shit was so sweet for me and I live in a palace. The crown represented the crown that I speak of when I say queen, it represents a crown on my head to keep my head up because I've been through so much. And if I look down, I might give up. I probably would trip. I probably would, you know, so that the queen represents the crown to keep my head up. There's an invisible crown on my head that I wear every day. I like people saying it because it reminds me that I have a crown on my head. I like to introduce myself as that because it reminds me that I am a queen with a crown on my head, so I could keep my head steady, my shoulders back, and I could keep on moving forward. That's part of my, you know, my GPS mindset of where I talk about like, you know, moving forward and looking at my focus like a GPS. That's that same thing where it all ties in with the queen, you know, me just sitting back and just keep on going no matter what. I don't look left, I don't look right, I look straight. So that's what keeps me going.
Yo,
Yo,
that's heavy. Oh, we started this one out heavy.
that's heavy.
We
Yo,
started this one out heavy.
so I know, like, you know, being in a male dominated industry, you know, you being a female, like how was that transition and how are you able to deal and cope with a lot of things that come with that? I'm quite sure like I'm quite sure it's crazy, like us being in the industry, like, you know, with events, things like that, like I know what come with it. So like how was that, like how was that for you being in that side?
Okay, so in the beginning, male dominancy bothered me a lot. Like I was bothered by it because of how men would treat me. And
Right.
then I realized that in order to respond to a man, you can't respond to a man being an aggressive woman. So the way I handle things, especially like with the industry, especially with the other men that I work with and my male counterparts, I tap into my feminine side, my me being a woman, me being soft, me being nurturing, me being sweet. Men respond to that so much better than you wanting to be like this, you know, angry black woman, or you wanting to be like super aggressive, super strong, and trying to prove that they're nothing and things like that. So that's not my approach at all. And I definitely like, even if they don't give me the same, like, you know, if they don't reciprocate that back to me, that's not my problem, that's theirs. But I definitely take advantage of the woman side, the nurturing side, the calmness, the collaborative side that women have. So my feminine quality is how I handle the masculine quality that sometimes tear women like me down, but I don't let that happen. Anything, I embrace it. Okay, you got it, king. You know, like, you got it. So I embrace that shit. So
Do
it
you
doesn't
think
scare me.
do you think women have in order for so do you think women really have a hard time embracing their femininity when they're in a male dominated industry? Like, how do you balance out really still keeping that feminine energy while being in a male dominant industry?
I can't speak for the women, but I know for me, I thought like my feminine energy was weakness. Like, I thought it was a sign of weakness. So I would try not to show it, because I feel like there is a balance between feminine and masculine energy, where you can still be platonic with your male counterpart, where it doesn't have to go, or you don't have to cross the lines and still be a woman, you know, like a lot of women that I do know, that I am friends with, do have a little bit, like, you know, they have like a hard time being feminine, even though they are like a woman's woman. It's like, in order for them to be strong, they have to be a little bit more aggressive. And there is nothing wrong with being aggressive, but I feel like I prefer showing it in a different way, because I get a better response just being myself, being a queen, being nurturing, again, being collaborative, to where it's like, you know, I figure out how to work with the man versus trying to cut out the man, if that makes sense. Because men need us. Men need smart women in their
Quick,
corner.
man, listen.
So it's like, why would I scare why would I scare that thing away from them, want that, from the thing that they need the most? So for me, it's more so like, you know, I make sure that they understand that I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to work. I'm here to collab. So that's my attitude. I don't look at male dominancy as an issue. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
anything, it's just another challenge that I feel like, instead of us responding with negative energy or masculine energy, which is unnatural for women to portray, we should do it with our natural energy that we already were born with, so we can have the response that we want, you know what I mean, in this business, in this industry. So I get a great response from men, just being myself. I don't have to add on anything, because I'm a mother. So it stems from that, and I started that 6 years ago. When I had King, I got softer, and I just, like, you know, just imagine, like, when I'm interacting with him, that's the same way I interact with these grown ass men in the industry. You know, there is some that you got to check, because they will try to think that you being, like, you know, just nurturing and collaborative mean like, oh, let's go on a date. Nah, that's not what that means. That means I'm respecting you as a black man or white man, whatever you are, and I just need you to reciprocate that respect to me as a woman, a black woman. You know. So,
Black, strong, proud woman. I think, yeah, like that. I think what you said drives it home, because I know, just even in business, like we said all the time, like we have gotten more um love and help from women. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
don't, like, everything that we've done, like we go out and we go get it on our own. But like you said, like you,
yeah,
everybody needs help, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
we always say, like us, coming up, like we didn't have, like we really didn't have, like, no OGs or anybody to kind of show us the ropes, right?
Right.
As we kind of got into like doing like real business, especially within our marketing company, it's been the women. Like, they've
Mm-hmm.
been putting us, like they have been putting us like all the way in the game. And it's not like, we believe in building relationships, and a lot of times, like, like, I don't I when I think about relationships, like, you make more deposits than you do withdrawals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I would do, and we won't ask for anything, but when we need something, we have built up that rapport. So when we do ask for something, it's like, yo, like, come on, man, it's a no brainer. But it's been the
right.
women from the rip, like, yo, what do you need? Height, like, just let me know. And it's just like, well, I ain't really used to that, but like, what you want? Is it like, I'm trying to figure out like what's the end game? But like, women are very nurturing. They just really want you to win. It's not about like they don't want anything from you but to, you know, pay it forward. I think that like women are the backbone of anything. So like you need a strong woman on your team. Like I don't like guys like y'all cool. Women gonna get that shit done. They gonna lay out the
Fucking
plan, they
fact.
gonna stick to it, they're gonna hold you accountable. And I think that like you can't be in business without strong women somewhere on the team. Like they like listen, I believe that women should it should be a woman president, but that's just my opinion.
Right.
I love the way
Yo,
women move
and to piggyback, Andrew, to piggyback on Louis' point, like some of our toughest times in terms of execution, we were
Yeah.
able to get over the hump with a woman. And I don't wanna discount this one point, right? It's been a lot of black women. I want to be very specific about that. It's been black women who have literally been in position to get us in the door and to maybe get us a contract or put us in position with a relationship that we needed. And then, like I said, you know, all of our project managers that we had for almost all of our contracts have been black women, and they put in the work just as much as we put in the work. They're right behind us putting in that work. You know what I mean? This ain't one of those things where I'm like dissing any other culture or anything like that. But I know with us and what we've been through and what we've experienced has been black women that's literally taking us over the top. Black women such as yourself, because you know, me and you, we've had a lot of conversations where we built and we've executed off the things that we've built off of. And literally black women have like taken us from here to here to here. And I'm sure it's going to continue to do that. So I want to be very clear that it for us and for me personally, it's been black women that's really taking us over the top, and that sometimes goes under the radar. And at this point, at this moment, I don't want that to go under the radar at all.
Don't get it twisted.
Definitely.
We have some key guys that helped us along the way, but for the
Right.
most part, like it's really been the women. So I don't want anybody to kind of take that, but like, yo, bro, I ain't, you know. But it's
Look,
just
listen, if they do
shout out to
not
the
take that the
queens,
wrong
man.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
shout
and
out to the queens.
I feel like, you know, again, it's like, you know, it's like for me when I look at the like who has it worse, it's because so it's like white men, then it's a whole category where there's like women, right? But then if it's like white men, then it's white women. This is how I look at it. It's white men, then it's white women, then it's black men, then it's black women. Even if you were to put it against women against man, the white woman to me still would have an advantage over the black man. So it's like the woman, the black woman is at the bottom. So it's like when we're there, we almost feel like imposters when we're in positions of power, or when we're in you know, in a place where we can, you know, push buttons and pull plugs, because it's like we almost shouldn't be here, if that makes sense. So that imposter feeling, even though we're qualified and we feel like we are um the most probably, like, you know, well worth of or deserved of this position, you can still feel like an imposter just being a woman and being black. So it's like, because I've experienced that, you know, not only being a woman and being black, but also being a single mother. You know, I feel almost like, damn, I almost shouldn't be here, but I know I deserve it. But then you just get insecure sometimes. So it's like for us, we're gonna do whatever is right. We're gonna make as much plays happen. We need those vouchers. We need men like you saying, yo, she helped me do this, she helped me do that. So we can stay in position and we can stay and continue to do things that we're doing. If we go up there and we ain't helping nobody, who gonna want us around? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to go a little bit extra and push a little bit harder to make sure that we secure what we're doing and where we are. So that's how I look at it. As to why, you know, when we do things, we want to do it with intent and make sure that we're, you know, helping people. So that's to me, that's my you know, analogy on that. Yeah.
How do you, so with everything that's going on right now, you know, way back at
Hmm.
the beginning of COVID, we had the untimely death of George Floyd. You know, we're still trying to figure things out with Breonna Taylor. You know, we had a whole, it was like a re-energizing movement, right? How do you feel entrepreneurship played in this energizing movement, specifically Black entrepreneurship? Because after it was starting to kind of move along. And me and Nudie, we've been seeing it here in Delaware. You know, the dynamic is starting to shift. How have you kind of like on your end and what you've been seeing and what your experiences are? How do you see that dynamic really shifting in Black entrepreneurship since like the beginning of COVID? Has it been a good shift that you've been seeing? Has it been a bad shift? Or have you even really been seeing a shift? What have you been seeing from your eyes?
No, it's definitely been a shift. The big one too. When you speak about like, you know, what shift has happened amongst our people, black people, it's it's financial. You know, it's the thing that has changed for us. Not only was it Black Lives Matter, but it was the black dollar that mattered as well. Because then a lot of corporations came out. I started a group chat, remember, with you and I and
Mm-hmm.
a few of my friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to get to the bottom of like the reason why these companies felt the need to say Black Lives Matter too. And then I realized, damn, it's the black dollar that mattered, you know? So with the black dollar matter, you know, movement, people understanding like, okay, now that my money matters as a black person, and now that I understand that my people money matter, what are you gonna do with it? You're going to start a business. You're going to support a business. You're going to invest in a business that's black. And if you want to do these things, are you in that position to do so? So education became a really important piece. A lot of people were, you know, seeking information. They were seeking ways to learn and gain knowledge and understand how to be, you know, a more, because in order to discuss the black dollar, you have to discuss black history and our,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? So our entrepreneurial side and our entrepreneurial history goes way back to like Marcus Garvey. And when these
Yes.
guys was driving the black
Mm-hmm.
dollar, and even back to Black Wall Street, when they were trying to create our own industry, our own Wall Street. So it goes back then. And it's like, I think what George Floyd's death did, because the world was so still during the pandemic and how we all had to stay home and be quarantined, that we were still enough to understand why we need to have our own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like white policemen should not be policing black neighborhoods. You get where I'm coming from? So it's like I can go deep into why that needs to not happen, because if you think about where policing came from, that came from slavery. Slaves
Slavery.
running away and they catching the slaves, bringing them back to their masters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, if you want to talk about the black dollar, if you want to talk about black history, if you want to talk about black lives, it's just so many things that I feel like we cannot talk about in order to get to those points. So the shift for me was an awakening, was a paradigm shift that needed to happen anyway. Whether it was COVID-19 or another type of disaster that was going to come and hit the world, it was going to happen anyway. It like this was going to happen anyway. The paradigm shift was going to happen. You know, it just so happened to be that COVID-19 did that, but this was going to
Mm-hmm.
happen
Mm-hmm.
between this year or with whatever the shift was going to hit. It was going to hit, and I feel like it empowered people like you and me and so many other people that was able to kind of like understand more about what this meant. It didn't mean to go and, you know, spend your check at the Louis store. It meant educating yourself to understand why we need to empower our communities, why we need to empower our children, why we need to empower our partners, and you know, things like that. So it was a big thing that I was truly happy about, because it even pushed me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, to want to like, you know, not wait for the normal to come back, because this is the new norm, and I didn't want to miss
Mm-hmm.
that wave, you know. I'm proud of like what, you know, you got different people doing now, like Wall Street Trapper, you know, he's a good friend of mine, and this man is like teaching and educating people as a black man, and I feel like there's people like him, you know, that are like bringing the Black Dollar Matter movement to life, because they're not stuck on the emotional side of this shit. Like, oh, you know, when I walk in a room, I feel I don't give a fuck about that. You need to understand what the stock market is talking about. You need to
Mm-hmm.
understand what your credit means when you
Mm-hmm.
go and sign for to buy something, because your zip code could deny you. You need to understand what district your school your children go to school and what
Mm-hmm.
they're, you know, have what they have access to. So it's like for me, I feel like the Black Dollar Matter movement is still so hidden because they're pushing this Black Lives Matter agenda. They're pushing money behind it to kind of like overshadow what truly matters because it's becoming such an emotional issue, and it's not emotional. Like you cannot get emotional. Like you cannot get tied up in the Black lives. We know that. We've been knew that. I've been knew my life mattered. I didn't need anybody to tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
However, what we do need to remind each other and what we do need to teach each other is about the Black dollar and what that means and how we can affect businesses if we do not spend money with them while building our own.
Yo, that's
So
You speaking our
so
language.
you hit on several, like you hit on like 20, 30 key points, right? And I touch on a couple of them, like the reason why, Malcolm and I thought about black jobs, well, it started off as Black Dollars Matter, but now we changed the group to spending Black Matters, right? Like we seen how hardly hit a lot of our businesses and our community was hit, whether it was health reasons, whether it was definitely financially, right? So we like when we look at it, we like, yo, like 40% of our business, like from the very beginning, like March, where like within a week, we were going. Our small business was out because we didn't have access to capital, access to loans, access to resources, access to
um,
pretty much anything, right? So Malcolm and I was like, yo, look, we need to figure out how do we pivot, right? So we knew online was it, right? But also like we
yeah,
couldn't be selfish and not think about everyone around us. So we was like, yo, well, how do we? And I've been reading this book called Powernomics. I talk about it all the time by Dr. Claude Anderson. And I'm like, yo, how do we keep our money circulating within our communities? Like before there was the Chinese store,
yeah,
the Arabs on every corner, those businesses like that, like originated from us. Like we own those corner stores. And we talk about Black Wall Street, it dates back well beyond. I think like slavery is a lot in our textbooks in school. Most people don't know about, because of the internet. We just started to learn about Tulsa, Oklahoma. We just started to learn about Marcus Garvey as a collective because our textbooks only dated back to slavery. So most people didn't know nothing before slavery. It's like, yo, slavery was it. That's when we came into this world. Like we came into slavery, but we were doing
no,
things
we were kings and queens and
well before then. But
yeah,
the history,
trading gold and
all that.
all types of shit.
But
You know what I mean?
we were never taught about self. So now, like with the internet being, like you can pretty much look up anything, and now like we're starting to see, like, yo, we were doing these things, like we created pyramids and things they still can't figure out to this day, right? So I think that those things that you spoke on, like we have to do the due diligence ourselves to spread that knowledge about self, about things that we were doing prior
Yeah,
to.
it's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. We
It's
the
not,
ones who went through slavery, not them. So we have to
yeah,
do the cleanup. We're the
and,
ones who got to clean up. We got to do the cleaning
yes,
job. So it's nothing
yes.
wrong with that.
It's nothing wrong, and we have to realize that, like, it's going to take us as a collective. Like, it's nothing wrong. We've been separated, even when it comes to, like, there's so many Black African Americans. Like, even when we talk about like Section 8, like the men and women have been divided. Like, you can't have, being on Section 8, right? You can't have a man living in a household. So a lot of things that have separated the Black man and woman, even with, when they put crack cocaine in the neighborhoods, they locked up a lot of our Black brothers. And now, like, we're so disenfranchised as a community that we're not raising our kids as a collective. Like, most people I know are not with, like, Black people, like, young coming up, like, they're not with the mom, right? And there's so many different things that's attacking us. Like, now we're really seeing and we're understanding, like, we have to stick together, like collective group economics, group politics, like everything needs to be cohesive, and we have to bring it back together. Like we gotta bring it in.
Right.
Gotta,
I
Hey,
feel you on that.
it's interesting that you brought up the Wall Street Trapper, right? Because Nudie, so we watched another podcast. Shout out to Rashad Bilal and Troy
true.
Millens from Earn Your Leisure, right? They started that podcast, and we initially seen Wall Street Trapper on earn your leisure. But even prior to that, Nudie and a couple of our other partners have been really like starting to zone in into stocks, and we really actually started to put ourselves in a position where it's like, yo, what can we do to really make this money, right? So it's like, stocks. And we're talking about how COVID came in, how we all had to shift to an online model. So e-commerce, you know what I mean? Real estate, ownership, like ownership of our data, you know what I mean? So, it's
Right.
cool. It's cool that we have these people on. We have
Yeah, we
disrupted.
got like, and then there's another guy to 19 Keys. There's
Mm-hmm.
Maddie J
Yes, yes,
Atlanta.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like all these guys, like, I was already connected with Wall Street Trapper, but I connected with 19 Keys and Maddie J on Clubhouse and became really cool with them too. Like, through the Clubhouse app. Not like I have never met any of them, but it was just the conversation and just the topics and just the insight of what they speak of and what, like, just like what you guys are on, that push, to, and passion to educate and change the narrative. So it's like, it's key, it's important, it's really, really important. I think, like, hopefully guys will not just, our young kids won't just want to grow up and be rappers and athletes, but they want to be educators now too, because these are a new form of educational figures that are, you know taking over the internet. They have reach. They're making money by selling modules and educational content, and
Mm-hmm.
they're able to basically push the new narrative of like what black looks like. So that's what I love about it, and I'm like, as a woman, there's other women out there, but I just love what the men are doing. I'm really excited about what they're doing. They're
And
encouraging me
so,
and pushing me.
how does that? So I know you got Hustlers Feast. You know what I mean? How does Hustlers Feast play a part into pushing that black dollar and educating? Tell the people what Hustlers Feast is about and how that ties in with that black dollar movement.
Well, the feast out of the Hustlers Feast is, us sitting at a table and having these conversations. That's what Hustlers Feast is. You know, um, it's literally bringing your plate to the table and sharing it. Discussing, oh, I like meat and potatoes with my shit. What you got on your plate? So it's kind of like, it's like that, like, us sharing and talking. So that's where that Hustlers Feast came from. It was actually supposed to be an initial event, and I changed it to having it this year. COVID came. It was cool. I turned it virtual where I started doing lives with people on Instagram, and it literally, like, I gained like 2,500 followers just doing that, on Instagram. But then I kind of had to slow down a little bit and kind of like, attend to my clients and things like that. But then recently did another live with Jason Mitchell, a good friend of mine, who have a movie that he's working on right now called 50 Shots, which is about Sean Bell. So it's the conversation, it's the motivation behind it. As far as the educational piece, I started talking about financial literacy. So I
Mm-hmm.
wrote an ebook, which will be one of many, that talked about how to manage your credit and your debt during the pandemic. So in the beginning of the pandemic, I was in the credit world learning a lot about this credit. I learned so much that I was able to write an ebook, and I made a few thousands off that ebook by just like promoting my story. And it was just really literally like just friends and some strangers that I didn't know buying the book and giving me feedback on how well it was written and things like that, and how I broke it down, it being a simple read, that being able to understand it. So my next book that I'm actually working on right now, which is the ebook, is how to build business credit, because a lot of people don't understand how helpful business credit can be. You don't need your personal credit to get funding. You don't need your personal credit to get a lot of things. You start with your personal credit, but then just to kind of like get into a little bit on that topic, you just need to have cash in hand to start with a secure card. And then once you keep that relationship with the bank with a secure card, you can break away and create a whole new profile with your business. Your business can get you funding within a year or two. You can buy a car, you can lease an apartment, you can do so many things with your business credit, which I'm actually doing. I taught myself how to do my business credit. I didn't, no one taught me. My mom was helping me. I was figuring shit out. I was Googling shit on the internet. And then once I realized that this is a formula, I was like, I'm gonna write about this shit. Sell it for $20 and let people go build their credit. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. It's so easy. I have a list of companies that you can work with to do net 30. They don't run your credit.
Mm-hmm.
They give you 30 days to buy something, and boom, you pay them within 30 days, and that's already a trade line right there. As long as you buy something once a month. There's times where I just buy shit I don't even need, and I just like I return it after it's reported, and that's that. But that's a part of the hustle to build that credit, to have that relationship, so your company can be strong enough to take risk with the banks and and things like that. So that's like the next book I'm working on right now. It's going to be a 15 to 20 page ebook, something easy, straight to the point, no bluff,
Mm-hmm.
no fluff. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on that right now, and yeah, so that's what Hustler's Piece is. It's a conversation, financial literacy, and motivating people to continue on their path to greatness, whatever it is. If you want to be the best stripper in a strip club, then you can come to the table too and tell the other strippers how to get their money. So it's
Right.
like there's no discrimination when it comes to entrepreneur. If you have a day job, but then you own 6 or 7 vending machines, you have a seat at the table. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of entrepreneurship conversation that we're having.
Yo, I like that you started off when you said the stripper part, right? Because I think a lot of times, we often judge people on how they get their money, right? And I think, we never know people's situation. Like, like a lot of times, like I remember when people like I used to hear about like chicks stripping to go to pay their way through college, and I think
Only what? OnlyFans is a real thing, yo.
OnlyFans is a huge thing. I know Malcolm is.
I'm not on OnlyFans, but I love what the women are doing by taking advantage of the internet, and they're creating that revenue. I love it. Like there is nothing. The only thing that I probably would be against is a person being a hitman. Other than that, I love every aspect of entrepreneurship. From stripping all the way up to the corporate office, because it's the service. If you are able to make a living and you're able to push this entrepreneurial ship,
Yep.
then you got something that we need to know, and it could probably apply to my business. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people like that are some of the most creative people when it like
Mm-hmm.
those party promoters, strippers, like those type of people are some of the I remember reading a book, this was a while ago, and a guy that he was a party promoter, and he started out doing parties, and he wound up doing like things that people couldn't even imagine. But one of the things that he said that always stuck with me, because at the time I was heavy into promoting parties. He said
Yeah.
if you have any business, if you want someone to do marketing for you, give it to a party promoter, because we come up with 100 different ways to persuade people to come to an event, whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, whether it's competition. Like you have to be really creative in how you do marketing, and I've
It's true.
to every like I've done things for things for like the mayor in our city, things for like senators, for nightclubs, for nonprofits, for the government sector, like in all those things I've learned from when I did party, and when I was selling clothes, or having a clothing brand. Like those things always stuck with me, and I don't care in any arena. Listen, I rock out. We rock out with the best of them, because those creative ideas have molded us.
Yep.
And so I'm just like, yo, we problem solving is like fast. If something happens, I know how to figure it out.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. And it's like Hustler's Feast is for people like Nudies, for people like Malcolm, for people like me. It's for people like Jay-Z, like, because we want to have a conversation with him too. It's
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
for all those people. It's like that's why I created it. I was like, I want to create a space where it's not limited to just a certain type of entrepreneur. So that's why I didn't make it a women's thing, or make it an entertainment thing, or make it a like I made it a hustlers thing. If you got that tenacity, if you got that hustler spirit, you have a seat at this table. So that's what I created that for. So my I'm actually working on a getaway right now. So we already got like the hustlersgetaway.com. Yeah, our first piece is gonna be in Jamaica next year. So yeah, I partnered up with this company called Peak of Paradise, which is actually owned by my friend. She lives in Jamaica, and they're doing like all of the packages, just everything, all the activities. and we're just gonna get some hustlers together just to come and have a great time in Jamaica. We're doing our first feast on that Sunday, and then that the Sunday of that weekend. So it's gonna be from a Thursday to like a Tuesday. So it's gonna be like an activity every single day, and then we have the official feast on the beach that Sunday. And then that Monday we have our final like event. It could be probably, I was thinking even doing like ATVs, or whatever the case might be. And then Tuesday everyone flies out. But
You know
yeah.
what I'm thinking, Malcolm?
Yeah, listen, when I announce this shit, there's a lot of faces I'm trying to see put their deposits down. I'm not trying to hear.
Yo,
Listen, I've been working on this shit for months. So, and we definitely decided not to do it this year because of how iffy the pandemic would be.
yeah.
But I know even if the pandemic roll over to next year, there's gonna be so many ways to like have like regulation to
Yep.
where I could still have this trip. So when those protocols are in place, so will my trip. It will be in place too. So yeah.
Is it like summer times, like late
It's
spring?
gonna be late summer. No, it's gonna be summertime. It'll be right before the schools open up.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Yep.
so speaking about hustlers, I remember I was on Instagram. I'm scrolling one time. I'm like, wait, hold up. I scroll past your pump like Future, Africa, and I'm like Angel. I'm like, what the hell?
That
like,
was major.
yo, like,
That was major.
Like I remember you telling us a story, but you got to tell the people the story because like when you talk about even doing events, like it's very difficult to do big events in the States, even smaller
Yeah.
events, period, right? But to do that on a high level and go to Africa and bring Future, like that's like some people can't even fathom that. Please tell us that story and how that came about.
So I got a call. I got a call from a very good family friend of ours. He was just like, Angel, I have a project for you. And I'm just like, oh man, I hate the word project. This shit just sound like a lot of work. So I'm like, oh man, okay, what is it? And because when I hear the word project, I immediately knew it was like some shit that was gonna be like beyond me. So, so he's like, all right, can you get Future or Meek Mill? Or he was just naming all these people. I was like, I get Meek. All right, that's no problem. But then when I finally spoke to the buyer, she's like, and it was a woman at that, so that was pretty cool. She's like, no, I want Future. I'm like, I don't know anybody in that camp. I don't know the mama, the daddy, the cousin. I don't know anybody. I don't know the manager. I don't know friends. I don't have no friends over at Free Band. So that was like a real challenge for me. But I knew that I knew people that knew Future. So I was like, it'll be so easy. So I started running into some roadblocks because the country Nigeria is so scary to a lot of people. People thought like, if they were thinking fraud, they didn't think they were going to get paid. That it was just so much things that was going to happen. So when that started happening, and then people asked me, have you done a show like this before? I was like, no. And they're like, okay, you want Future? He's like a really big star. And I'm just like, I mean, if I can't, at least I could try, So I freaking DM the Free Bands tour page. Like, matter of fact, I went to Future's page. At the time, he was following about 50 people. He's following 50 people.
Here's a hack. Here's a hack, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention to this hack.
This is a major hack.
So Future's following 50 people, and I screenshotted it all because I for some reason I felt like he might unfollow these people. I don't know why I felt that, and I started screenshotting different pages of people that looked important. So I was just like, okay, this looked like somebody that might work on screenshot. Okay, this is some girl he probably dated. I don't know her. Then I was like, okay, this is probably one of his rappers that he signed to his label. Screenshot. Okay, this looks like oh, this must be his mom. Screenshot. Oh shit, Free Bands touring. Screenshot. So I screenshot probably like 15. I still got the screenshots on my phone. Screenshot like 15 to 20 you know, like I think like 15 pages. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna in case someone doesn't get back to me that can help me with getting in contact with him, I'm gonna resort to DMing these pages. No one got back to me, of course. That is LA's fashion. Nobody wants to be a part of a failing situation. So in case it failed, no one would have name on this shit. So nobody helped me. So I was like, all right, cool, fuck it. I went to the Free Bands touring page. I DM'd him. I DM'd them and I said, hey, I'm Angel. I'm looking to work with Future, have a opportunity for him over in Africa to perform on December 29th. I just need to know his availability and if so, and if you guys are interested, I could send over an offer. That was it. Then I emailed the email that was connected to that Instagram page, and I didn't get a response. So I screenshot the DM and I emailed the DM to that email address to say, hey, I sent this email. Then I deleted my DM and copied and pasted, resent it, copied and pasted, resent it. I kept doing that until someone responded. When I finally got a response, I was like, damn, like I emailed you. Like I was so like upset because it was like weeks or days. It was like a long time I was doing this.
Right,
Finally
right.
got a response. Finally got a response. And then boom, we took it over to the email. They're just like, okay, this is for serious inquiries. What do you want? I was just like, listen, I think it took so long. It took like 8 months to put this deal together because they were more so worried about me.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they were worried about me and make sure I was legit. They wanted to
Right.
make sure my buyer was in the pain. They wanted to make sure that Africa wasn't a fraudulent,
Of
show.
course. Of course.
Yeah, they want to make sure like they're like we can't have Future no bullshit, so we need to know. Like they
Right.
all felt like their jobs were on the line if the shit didn't go right. So I was just like, no,
Hell,
trust me, it's
they
gonna go
job
right.
was on the line.
And I was like, no, trust me, it's gonna go right because the people who brought the opportunity to me, like good money, like good money. They're connected to a lot of people in the industry that are here in LA that I know very well. And even my name came up in some like meeting in Atlanta, and people were like, "Oh, she's good business." And I was just like, "What? Atlanta? Like I barely go to Atlanta, but there were people out there who vouched for me." So
It's
it
dope.
was like super dope for me to like have like all those like good signs and me have so that gave me a little bit of confidence to really push for them to
Pause
accept it.
real quick. Why is it so important? Because your name was brought up in a good sense, integrity in business. Why is that? That I just want to let people know it's so important to have integrity in business. Why? Because of shit like that. You just never know where and how your name is going to be brought up for something as big as what you're about to accomplish. So, well, what you already accomplished, right? Integrity in
So
business
true.
is a
And you
huge
never
thing.
know. You never like the industry is this small. When I realized that's what this taught me. This show and then remind you, I had no team here. I wrote the contract
Wow.
that Future signed. I wrote it. I wrote the offer that they accepted. I wrote it. I wrote everything, the itinerary. I wrote um I created like the just everything, like just even down to like, the system of how they need to send in their passport pictures and stuff like that. Like, we had
Damn.
yeah,
Woo.
like it was like
You had no
I
blueprint. You
was
was just out here doing it, right?
yeah, like it was just like the system just seamlessly like just going through. And then I'm just like, damn, I partnered with somebody over it. I'm freelance and basically like was like I offered him money. Like if you can be my ear over there, then I will give you a percentage of my income from this. And I did. I followed my word and I gave him a good amount of money and he had a very good Christmas. And we were able to get, Future to Africa and he performed not for 1, but almost 2 hours on the
Wow.
stage. So he gave me an extra hour on top of what the contract said. So they had a very good show. He loved the energy. It was amazing. It was a very challenging thing too because I was a female. So like his team ain't have respect. They ain't disrespect me. There was a few people that was respectful, like Big Bank. He was really cool. Like we connected on Clubhouse again. I was like, yo, wait a minute, you was in Africa? And he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was like, yo, I remember you. I was like, I remember you too. I'm like, what's up? So he followed me on Clubhouse and shit, and we just kind of like connected there. And then like a few people like was like really excited about my story because it came up. I forgot how it came up, but I talked about it on Clubhouse, and that's kind of like how my followers just kind of like shot up because people were just like, you took Future to Africa, that was you. I remember that shit. Lori Harvey was there, like so it was like a really cool trip. It was very, for me in my eyes, historical, and I feel like um when I do that again, I want to take Meek Mill. Meek, that's the next person I want to like. I'm putting that out there in the universe.
It is.
That's who I want there. Like he's like a brother. I love just everything that he's doing.
Right.
So I would want to give a hefty bag to a person like Meat Mill to come to Africa. So that's gonna be my next, like my next go around. But y'all heard that first. 'Cause I actually never told anybody that.
Yo,
So
that's exclusive.
yeah.
What's the science exclusive? And I
What's
think
the
like
science exclusive, y'all?
exclusive, man. But that like that I don't think people understand how, or maybe they do or they don't. But that's huge. Like to take something international.
It
And
is, and it's very challenging. Let me tell you this. When you go international and you do something successful internationally, you realize how small the industry is, how small the world is. Like, I never believed, I always would say, I'm like, damn, the world's so small, because I meet people that I knew. And I'm like, damn, the world's small. But then you don't realize how small the world is very small. I'm
yeah,
talking like, I'm meeting people in Africa that live here in LA.
how crazy is that?
They came to the show. Listen, I bumped into a girl who was with, no, I met a girl who worked with my sister as a flight attendant, and they didn't have tickets to the show. Because they knew somebody who was running things, but then our shit was so tight they couldn't get in. She just so happened to see me. She's like, "Hey, you're Gigi's sister," and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on? This is in Africa."
In Africa.
Whoa.
And she came to this house and ate with us and everything.
Wow.
So yeah, imagine she was like not a good girl. I would have been like, okay, bitch, and like, but she was such a nice girl. I remember her.
Right,
She
right,
was
right.
sweet. My mom loved her. I was like, don't worry, I got you. I got her in. She's sitting at the table with Lori and them. Like, they good. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's some other people who was like from Texas who came through, and you know what I'm saying? Like, they helped me with like content. There was a girl named Ree. She was super dope. She had the camera, shit, got photos, and she did content. My cousin, I hired him when I was there because he's in Nigeria. I got family there, so he was my content person, and I hired him to get content for me, and they worked together. So everything was so organic. It was just like the other shit that was just like so discouraging. Like, one of the guys called me a groupie because I was asking for art picture for after the show. I was like, how am I a groupie? And I just got y'all a check.
The check, like that's automatic. That's in the contract, bro. That's all. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's free. You gotta take all the
Shout
pictures
out,
with me.
yeah. You shout out my
Yeah.
company, all that. Like, yeah.
He was so mad because he was trying to count my pockets. He was trying to figure out like how much I made. He was trying to, which is what women go through. He was trying to figure out like, I'm like, you're doing your job for Future, not me. You don't work for me. You work for Future. So it's like,
Right.
don't try to trick and bully me into cutting you a check too. You're doing what you're supposed to do. So if you don't get the picture, but Future for everyone. That's why I don't have a picture for Future, because I had a lot of haters. Not only him, it was some other people. I'm not even gonna name their positions, but they were hating on me too because I went through his mother because they thought that my fucking offer was bullshit. So his mother, if anything, who I'm still cool with to this day, Miss J,
My
shout out to
boots
her.
got it done.
Miss J got it done, and she's a woman at that, and she's very humble. She made they people may say, oh, I don't know why she's entertainment, I don't know why she's this, but guess what? She got the job done.
There
She
it is.
really did. She got on the phone with my buyer. She made sure that her son signed that contract. She made sure that his managers were aware of what was going on, and that was that. So she
Dope.
got it done. And me
Nope.
and she called me the other day to check up on me and just to see how I was doing. And it was just like, wow, that's cool. Future's mom hits me up to see how I'm doing, shoots me a text once in a while, follows me on Instagram. So it's like that relationship, that you can't force something like that. That organically happened. I put work in for
Hold
that.
on. Nugget. So we talked about how important integrity in business is. Another nugget. Relationships and business. Angel, speak about everything that you just talked about with Future. I know you had to rely heavily on relationships. Why is the relationship so important in business, especially with you being a Black woman entrepreneur?
Relationships is the essence of being an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur. Mind you, do you understand what the word sounds like and looks like? At the end, there's a word ship. That word ship moves things. You have to keep your relationships. Like, every relationship I have makes moves. And it doesn't even have to be a financial move. Sometimes it could be just on some like other shit, like a whole like, vibe, or it could be whatever. I have great relationships with people that I've never made money with, but it has led me to places that made money. It has put me in rooms with other people to make money, and it's important. It's like, why? Who wants to be out here not knowing anybody and don't have relationships? That's a little boring, isn't it?
Yep.
You know. So I can honestly say, like, I don't give myself enough credit because I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people, and I didn't realize that until as of recent. How I was able to sit in this house and still make money and still be connected to people and still have my phone, go off and people still wanting to be connected with me. So it was like, damn, that's relationships.
Yep.
There's no other way. I'm not saying that I didn't have like fallouts with people, but I have a lot more good relationships with people. And it's just like with me, I did that being myself, learning to get to this point. Another thing too, people need to put into their vocabulary is humility. You have to be very, very humble. Sometimes you go through these things and you do not get the response, you don't get the treatment, you don't even get the like, the vibe that you may, want to kind of like, get through certain things like this Future show, taking it back to that. I think I was more miserable and more like sad and more like just waiting to get through it than I was excited because there were so many roadblocks, there were so many doubts, there were so many questions about who I was, there were so many things. Like now nobody can question me, but it was that. And if I didn't allow those things to happen to me and just to kind of like focus on the end game, then I would have lost that opportunity. Future would have never went to Africa. I would have never had this to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw all of this happening. I knew this was going to be a thing. I knew people would ask me, "Damn, how did you pull that off?" So that kept me in the game. So whatever negative thing would happen to me, I would ignore it because I'm like, I don't care. All I see, I was manifesting Future being on the stage. That's all I saw. Like the way I manifested it too, that's how it was. Like I imagine this nigga sweating and having the shirt off. If you look at the clips, I don't know if you saw like the shade room where he had to kick somebody off stage and his
I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen it.
He had no shirt on. I manifested this shit happening. Like
hold on. Another nugget. Manifestation. The power of your mind.
Yep.
What? You manifested it and that shit happened.
Yeah, I manifested that. So it was like that was crazy. And then it was like, another thing that I applied was my GPS mindset because I focused on him getting on the stage. Nothing was taking me off of that. I put Future in Africa in my GPS. And everything I did took me there. So I wasn't trying to hear shit else. If it steered me away from Future in Africa, I ain't paid no attention to it. I didn't give it no energy, none of that. Whatever steered me in that direction, that's what I was heading for. So that was it. So I definitely was GPSed all the way to Africa. I got on that plane, first class, comfortable, ready to conquer the world. Got there, hit some challenges, but who give them? He got on that stage, and everybody got paid, and we were good. So
that's listen, I mean, that's huge. Listen, I don't want anyone to take that experience for granted. I think when you have experiences like that, when you said the word humility, I think that is such an underrated word. But at the same time, I always felt like, I used to always say to myself, like, a lot of things, that accomplishments that you have, like you do have to enjoy them. You do have to be humble. But at certain times, like I always feel like you gotta have some assertiveness with that humility, because sometimes people think they can play with you. When you're too humble, you think they can do certain shit, say certain shit, because they don't see that side of you. But I think that assertiveness is something that I feel like you still need that to let these niggas, let them know. Like, listen, don't get twisted.
Here's how I'm assertive. I follow up. So you can say whatever you want to say, but I'm gonna send you that email like, hey, just checking in. I know that we haven't spoken 3 days. That's my assertiveness. My assertiveness is picking up the phone, reminding people what they promised. My assertiveness is making sure that I check in when it comes down to something happening between a person and I, whether it's, where they have to, meet their end of the bargain.
Right.
So that's my assertiveness, because it's very important for people to know that this is going to happen. And the way they know that is communication.
Right.
You constantly, like, there's been times where I ain't speak to none of them over free bands for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, what the hell going on? Y'all want this money or not?
Right.
So it's like, I need to make a call, and then it happened.
So let me
And
ask you.
I went to Africa alone, by the way.
Dolo?
Nope,
Oh,
everybody was scared. I got on the plane and left. I was out. I was like,
wow.
Future gonna be on that stage. Shit.
So
And
you
I got there, I met people, and then I had my buyer who had, people help me, and then I hired a little assistant that
right.
helped me. His name was Mimi, and he was so helpful. Paying him $100 US a day was like a big deal to him. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's it. But I think that's commendable, man. I mean, for you to go out there by yourself, being a female, you're in a whole nother, not another state. Like you ain't like you can just hop on a plane, or maybe somebody can
You're in
ride
a
it.
whole nother country.
You can't drive to Africa. You can't get in the car and go to Africa. Like you gotta be. How long was that flight to Africa? How long was it?
From I went through New York. Damn, it was like 5 hours to New York, and then from New York to from LA to New York was like 5 hours, and then from New York to Nigeria it was 11 hours or 12 hours.
Ooh.
So it was a long flight, but I was comfortable though. I was in first class.
Right.
I was
I
comfortable.
mean, you first class. You got your feet up, your seat all the way back.
Well, you chilling. You popping the mimosa and all that, yo.
So I was in first class. I was chilling. So, but it was a long, nerve-wracking. And then get this, I had got a facial thing where it was peeling my face.
You said what
So
happened?
my face was like peeling. It's like, just some facial stuff. What girls do. Like my face is actually peeling out. You guys can see it, but I always do like these, these peels around this time of the year,
Nudie. I remember one time I FaceTime Angel. This probably is in the summertime. She had a little steam thing, and it was like blowing steam on her face. Angel
I don't play with my
fuck around
skin.
with that skin, yo. She do not fuck around with that skin, dog.
I don't. So I wear makeup is very smooth and clear under here. I don't play with my skin. So yeah, I don't play about it.
That's a big deal. But I do want to. So like you did the Future thing. I mean, you've done a plethora of dope things. I know. Recent, it was like maybe a year and a half ago. You had came to Philly. You was managing Watch Jazzy. I know we pulled up on you.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that whole thing? Like you managing, like one, she's phenomenal. She's dope. She's fucking hilarious, right?
Talented.
Very talented. I remember at one time you had a group of, before they blew up. I think it was what's the Jess Hilarious? It was a couple of them, right? Like tell us about that story. How that came about.
So I feel like during that period in time, we were all still trying to figure out this comedy world and how to get the money, and I felt like I was put to the task to figure it out, so I wasn't like officially managing Jess Hilarious and Pretty V and all these people, but I definitely had like a lot of influence on their careers as far as like the motivational part, the structure, things like that, because also them watching me manage Jazz at the time and working with them, I could say for sure, like, Jess Hilarious is like one of my favorite people. Like we're on the phone. We constantly, she's a bad texter, but when we do text, we be like texting, voice notes. Like till this day, I'm just trying to get her ass on the Clubhouse. I was talking to her the other day about it, but she looked like that's my baby. I love her. Pretty B, love her. Like she's just amazing. I love her growth. B Simone, love B Simone. And they all have great management now. They're all doing well. But they can still always pick up the phone and talk to mama. So, that's how I look at it. With me and Jazz, we basically like grew together, So it's like not knowing the business to like me learning the business and then guiding her through it. From us, so many challenges, So like, commend, like shout out to her. Like we're still working together right now. She's more so like focusing on her entrepreneurial side, which is like an important part.
Absolutely.
Of
very important.
yeah, of us being a brand, and you have to allow them to do that and explore and do different things. So you know, she's phenomenal. I still manage her. I work also with Nia Lee now. She's a rapper, and we got some things in the work. Um, really excited about her because she just has so much talent, so much hustle. There's so much about her, so
She
much
been she been
character.
she been popping for a little bit though. She's been popping
Yo,
for a
is
minute
she
now.
Yes,
from New York? Where's she from?
the Bronx.
The Bronx.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's from New York.
Yeah, New York. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I have her now as a client, and it's exciting. I love working with women.
Let me ask you a question. Was she a long time ago? And I remember maybe she came to Philly, but was she once almost signed to Jim Jones?
I don't know about Jim Jones. I think Fabulous.
Fab. Okay.
Yeah, she
Okay.
worked with Fabulous for a long time. That I do know. I don't know about the Jim Jones story, but I do know about Fab, and they're still really cool. They shared a manager for a while,
Okay.
and things like that. So that was like a lot for me to go up against. I'm like, damn, you have Fabulous
Yeah,
manager.
like whoa.
I'm
That's
like, whoa, that's like a
yeah.
legend. So then
Yeah.
here I am, little Queen Angel, but she fucks with me. I fuck with her. We're like sisters. Like I'm talking sisters. We done cried on the phone, arguing all
Yeah.
type of shit. So we're like, inseparable. I also have two international clients. So I have Anthony Alcaraz. He's on national television over in France. And then I have Siam Benoit. She's like a producer, a writer. Um, I'm talking like beautiful people. They're verified on Instagram. I know them personally. They come to LA, and I handle their Los Angeles business affairs here, and they're back in Paris. Siam had to go back because of the COVID, but we were working on a show that was in the midst of getting picked up. So when
Right.
all this stuff is over, I'm so excited to get back in production with her. So yeah, I have Sir Bo. He's like a really big talent on the Big O Live app. So I work with him as well. So my list, I actually got to update my website because
Sheesh.
my client list has grown so
Right.
much. Yeah.
So I think I know you've done a couple things with Karen Civil as well too, right?
Yes, she's a friend of mine. Actually, we gotta do a shoot on Tuesday. So I manage her Fenty content. So she's doing Savage Fenty. So all if you I don't know if you follow her, but any Fenty shoot that you've seen her post,
Yeah.
any photo, I was the creative director behind it, did everything, picked the
You
photographer.
super plug.
Yo, we already knew it. We already knew
Nah, I
Queen
know. Yo,
Angel was
listen.
Well,
popping. That's
but
why she knew
love.
she was
By
popping.
the way, I love Karen so much. Like when we work together, it's just me wanting to just work with her, just being around another woman who's like phenomenal and sweet. And Karen was like one of the people who like she just DM'd me out of the blue, asked for my number to invite me to like a brunch, and then from there, and her wanting to get me and jazz bookings and always throwing me an opportunity. That's how I met
That's
Karen
dope.
Civil, by the way. So I want to put that out there. That woman reached out to me, made me money. Like, she always constantly like she knows that I'm a single mom. So that's like one of her driving forces. She's like, nah, you gotta feed King. We need some like that's her attitude. So I just want people to know that. So like when I say I'm working with Karen or I'm doing something with her or we're doing some Savage Fenty shoots together, it's just organically on top of like whatever she's done for me too. So, shout out to Karen.
Yeah, that's dope. And I do read like so one of my guys just opened up a dope comedy spot in Wilmington. So I'm gonna be hitting you up.
Oh, definitely.
Real,
'Cause
real.
we need them. We need them comedy checks.
You got listen. I'm telling you, like
We gotta
he got.
get Jazz on some stages. She got a lot of stuff that she's working on right now. She's definitely like um writing. I know she's writing. She got JRB Skin and she's working on a few things. So
Yeah, we gonna
everyone.
we gonna connect the dots. I do have a question for you though. So what advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours, or even just um a young lady, or even a young man for that matter? Like, what advice would you give them?
Do your research. Get into the space that you want to be a part of. Connect with people that you want to work with. Like, don't be afraid. I mean, that's exactly what I did. It did fear didn't get me here. Like, fear definitely didn't get me here. It took a lot of just kind of like, you know, trying to figure out things, you know, trying to meet people, trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
out like, and you know what? It wasn't even, you know what? I from my situation's a little unique. Everybody I know, I literally stumbled upon them. There's barely a person that introduced me to someone. My older sister introduced Wall Street Trapper because she was like, I was doing the lives. So it's probably like the only introduction I have. But she like reached out to him and kept bothering him in the DMs. Hey, my sister's
Right.
doing these popping Hustle Street lives, and you have to. This is my older sister. She's like, you have to get on her show. And he's like, all right, lady,
Oh, wait,
bam,
wait,
all
wait, wait,
right,
wait.
cool. So then,
You have an older sister?
yeah, I do. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I ain't know that.
yeah. So my
Keep,
older sister, Chi Chi
keep
and
her
I are
away,
just
keep
like
her away
this.
from Malcolm, man. Keep her
Everybody,
away from Malcolm.
all our Chi-Chi, me and Chi-Chi are just like this. People think Chi-Chi's my only sibling, but we got a lot of siblings. But me and Chi-Chi are like attached to the bone.
Yeah, that's the only
But
thing I really see though. Like, well, your younger sister, right?
yes, because we're
Yeah.
so close. We got a sibling between me and her, but it's just me and her, just like glue. So we're just, it's just she's my best friend. So that's just what you get, you know.
That's dope.
Right.
That's dope.
Yeah. So when I connected with him, that was something that was introduced, you know, and then Anthony Alcaraz, he was referred to me. That my client over in Paris, he was referred to me. We kind of like on ice right now because he's overseas,
Right.
but we still have our relationship. We still work. We still, it's a lot. Like as soon as he get back, I'm trying to get him into movies, all types of shit because he's on TV over there. He's acting, he does music. He has like damn near 1 million followers on Instagram. Like he's really popping.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
yeah.
That's you connecting the dots. You know, from international, man. You like Carmen
Yeah. So
Sandiego.
when I say international, I don't mean I'm not just saying
You ain't
that.
fucking
I did
around.
I
Yeah.
did a show in Africa, so I'm international. It's like you can't take that from me, you know. Yeah.
Nah, that's
And I got an artist. I got an artist in Jamaica too that I'm gonna develop. Yeah, I'm developing an artist out there.
artist management. Are you not? You are not. You not. You jack. You the jack.
She ain't playing around. We almost look. We've been talking about so many other stuff. I wanted her to talk about her other businesses. I ain't got no pictures from Angel. She been on her grind. I ain't got no pictures from Angel to post up on Lock Nation in a little bit. I gotta go post old pictures.
Uh.
You got. I post them on Instagram. You gotta hit me up
You
though. You're like, yo,
Now
send
you're
me
right.
the.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
No,
Screenshot.
but
Screenshot,
normally,
man.
because I'm such a quality control freak, I would text them to Malcolm. Like Malcolm, post this one. You try to post one that cut me off, cut my crown out. Like I'll be on top. I'll be on his head. He's like,
That's
yeah,
a
you want to
fact.
pick this photo? I'm like, no, I'm gonna send you a photo for the flyer. Like
Yeah.
I'm very particular. So
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna send you one. I'm like, can you post this or something? So I'll send you one.
I
But yeah,
appreciate you.
we're definitely, you know, for me, I just feel like I'm in a good, you know, good space. Like I just have to like, you know, just keep applying pressure and keep making sure that that crown's on my head to go forward, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No,
yeah.
that's dope. What can you say has been the best resources to help you along your way, along your journey? Like what are some of the best resources that
Oh my God, the internet, Instagram. Now it's looking like Clubhouse. Like these things
I never
are,
heard of this Clubhouse thing. Malcolm was telling me about this today. I'm like,
I just got invited 2 days ago, so I'm still trying to
you on
figure it out.
there?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
you know, how
Let me
he get
follow
invited?
Malcolm.
He don't even like you ain't even tell me about Clubhouse. You wait till you get in and then he give
I
me the
didn't hold on. So I didn't even know about it. I didn't know about it until my homeboy called me. My homeboy worked for Facebook out in somewhere out in California. I gotta ask him, but he's out there in California. He worked for Facebook. He called me on Friday afternoon and said, "Yo, Mal, are you on Clubhouse?" And I was like, "What is that?" And I downloaded the app and he sent me an invitation. And then I got on there. I haven't even. I was in a room with Meek Mill for like 2 seconds. I was in another room with Tiffany Haddish for like 20
And it's
minutes.
direct. It's like direct like connections. It's not even
Right.
like
Yeah,
no
you're directly talking to these
to these
people on
people.
this
so you have to
application.
be invited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a private app. Oh, I
So
found you
you're
right
not gonna
here.
invite me, bro? Like, what you
I don't
doing?
need Nudie. I don't even know what I'm doing yet.
Hey, Andrew, can
Oh,
you invite me, please?
I don't think I have any more invites. It's like you get one per. I had gotten two more
Oh,
and then I gave them
this
away.
is serious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you like.
I
I
don't
just
even know
followed you, Malcolm.
I don't even know
Malcolm,
what I'm doing.
did you get on
Oh, I just got you. I just
go?
got you.
Yeah, look. So go to that. Go back to the hallway. Right, the hallway is where you see all the rooms.
Right.
And do you see an envelope on the top?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't have that envelope, so that means you do have one invite, so you can share it with him.
Oh, you
But then
lucky.
you, yeah, it's gonna say one.
Yeah, that's all I have is one.
I
I
better
don't
be
even
your one,
know.
Malcolm. I better be your one, Malcolm.
Yeah, get
Nah.
Nudie on there. So, because here's what I'm saying, I have a group I have a club on the clubhouse. It did really well last week. I'm doing another one this Wednesday. I can add you two guys as hosts. It's gonna be Washi Trapper, me,
Ooh.
Maddie J, Nicole Lynn, and Nia Lee. So I got these people on a
Oh,
weekly
I got
basis.
my clubhouse invite. Yeah, Mal.
So look,
Yeah, so
I'm still trying to figure it out. And actually, the room that I was in yesterday, they were actually, and I actually, Angel, we might not have to do a part two with you, because I know me and you are like literally on the same wavelength. So like, they
yeah,
were actually having a discussion about, and this is the type of stuff that I really want to start teaching people about, how important their data is and how important their intellectual property is. Because I was in a room yesterday, and it was maybe about 50 creatives in the room, and they were talking about how they're putting their work and their creativity on these social media platforms, and these corporations and these white entities are taking their creative work and they're using it for their own financial gain. It's almost like the equivalent of like when the little black girl had created the renegade dance on TikTok, and you had all these white girls taking her dance, and the white girls got the credit but not the little black girl. So they were on the clubhouse really talking about how black
it's
people.
so the clubhouse is so unfiltered. That's why I love it. I definitely step in rooms that talk and sound like that.
Right.
Um, there's other rooms. I was in a room where Savage got mad because I said, what did I say to him? Because his name is Saint Down on there, so I knew who he was. I know him, but I said Saint because I just wanted people to know who I was referring to, and he's like, "Yo, Queen, my name is Savage, dog. You know my name. My name's Savage." I was just like, okay, now I know not to go into rooms with 21 Savage, and I might step in the room with Meat Mill, but he be attracting a lot of like people who want his attention, so I don't go into rooms with them. Um, I just stick with my whole my trio that I have, which is Matty J. I mean, whatever room he's in, Wall Street Trapper, and B Simone, and like a few people. I just stick with those night names when I see them.
Yeah.
We attract the
So
people. We
so
have big stages.
yeah, I don't really, like I said, I don't know. So this is what we do. I guess this week we can kind of like really start getting this clubhouse thing going, because I
I'm
don't
gonna be on the
know.
clubhouse. I'm gonna be on the clubhouse again. I'll probably get on there tonight, and I'm gonna see like who's in the rooms or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you see me in a room and I'm on stage and I'm a moderator, I can bring you up, and then you
Okay.
can talk and have like be a part of the discussions rather than being in
Okay.
the audience. So that's how it kind of works. You just have to make sure you're connected with people that know you. So
So do people use their real name, or are these like nicknames?
I use my
I use
name
my
from
real name.
Instagram. I use Queen Angel. I use my
Yeah, I use my real name.
Yeah, okay.
so I would if I were you, I would use Nudie the mayor, Nudie whatever, and then use the same name that you use on Instagram. Connect your Instagram and Twitter as well, so people it verifies that that's you. You
Gotcha.
know, I got so many followers by the way from Clubhouse on Instagram because people go to when I'm speaking, people go to my Instagram, check me out. They're
Yeah.
like, oh shit. They're like, all these people follow her, Cancel follow her, Meat Mill follow her, all these people following me, and they like, boop, click follow. They're like, she
Mm-hmm.
must be someone worth following, and they follow me. Um,
Yeah. That's oh man,
Yeah,
I'm
people don't understand how important this social clout is and what it could do for your business.
yeah,
Like,
so that's what it
you
is.
You know, because I remember, like, you know, like Angel, now I'm almost at 14,000 followers. And I remember when we were talking, this was way earlier in the year when, you know, you was really trying to like, yo, you got to get your followers up. You know what I mean? Now I'm really starting to see the importance, you know, us being behind the scenes and doing the work that we do. We know what followers do and don't mean, right? But to people who don't know who you are and don't even understand like what it is that you do behind the scenes or whatever, when they see that social proof, that's almost like, oh, okay. Who are you? I need to
Yeah,
fuck with you. Like, what's going on? So, you know, the clubhouse thing, and I want to be on every platform, but you know, I think we need to do a part 2 with Angel because we gotta like go in depth about some other
no,
stuff.
for sure. No, I'm with it. Like
Yeah,
I'm
Definitely,
we
I'm
gotta
with it
do a
too.
part 2. Yeah, definitely. You know, but yeah, let's get this clubhouse thing popping. I sent my invite over to Nudie. I only had one. So I only had
I'm gonna
one.
hold
Yeah,
mine.
and then once,
Whoever I give mine to, they gotta deserve it. I'm gonna hold my thing hostage. I gotta figure it out.
yeah, you got to give it to somebody who you know is going to bring value to the app because the app's private still. You know, there's people who've been on the app for months. I've only been on it for a few weeks, but you know, it's kind of like, you know, organic of how the relationships are built.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's so important for us to understand what helps us. And like I said before, the internet has been a major help. I mean, I put a future deal together without going to Atlanta. I ain't going to Atlanta. I ain't seen them
The
people.
internet, the
Internet.
Yeah,
internet, the internet.
I was right here in LA and got everything done, you know.
The
So
internet, the internet, the internet.
yeah,
Angel, before Nudie gives people his book recommendation, what is one thing that you would give to the people that they need in order to get their business started or their entrepreneurship journey popping? Give me one thing.
one thing. Let me see. Okay, well, the one thing I would say is have multiple streams of income because one is almost
Ooh,
like having none. One is almost like having none. So have more than one stream of income. That I would say.
ooh.
Yo, that's man. Listen, I don't think people understand it. And that doesn't mean even if I feel like it's a necessity to have a side hustle. Like I don't care if you got a 9 to 5. Like you can't survive these days with just working a 9 to 5. It's like
Right. If
almost
you're okay with being okay, then that's different. You can depend on your job and get mad when you're fired. But if you are someone who have, you know, some type of like, you know, tenacity of wanting more in life, have more than one stream of income because having one is almost like having none. So
having one is like having none. I like that.
yeah,
And
because if you lose it, you have none.
you got
So
nothing. Yeah, you got nothing to fall back on too. Like you always. I agree. I think you always got to be prepared
right.
for a situation because any like especially with COVID, man. Like COVID didn't teach people anything else. Is one like we talk about all the time. Is like having more assets than liabilities. Like, what are you doing with your money? Like, we talk about it all the time. Like, it's times when I want to buy shit, I can afford it, I can do a whole bunch
Mm-hmm.
of different things, but I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna put that into Apple, or I'm gonna put that,
Yeah.
I need some more Tesla. So like, I'm always thinking about, like, no one wants to sacrifice. Like, everyone wants instant gratification these days. Like,
Yeah, I don't
where's the
believe in instant
patience at?
gratification.
Yeah,
I believe in building strong houses. So it's like in order to do that, you have to make sure that you have foundation first. And because you can't build a house in one day. So you have to make sure you have the right workers.
yep.
You have to make sure that you buy the right materials. So the windows are in place. You have to make sure all these things. Then you have to do an inspection. That takes time. If people
Mm-hmm.
are looking to build a house in one day, I guarantee you the house will crumble. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I do not want instant anything because instant things can come that quick and leave that quick. So I'm very, very big on just taking my time and build. There's this book that I'm actually read. Well, I read it. It was the choice to be great, or
Mm.
I forget. It's by Jim Collins. And in the book, there's a chapter that talks about the 20-mile march approach. It's a concept where you just take your time. If you're marching from here to New York, that's about 3,000 miles, right?
Right.
20 miles a day will get you eventually to New York. But if you do 50 miles one day, 100 miles the other day, you might get so tired where you don't march for like 4 days, 5 days. You might give up, when you start again. So it's like just taking your time and going through life and building, you know, things with strength and making sure that it's strong. Thanks, Mom. What's this? My mom picked the apple and gave me a piece.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom.
Mhm. She can't hear you. She won't go. Just say hi. My mom is she's such a natural person. I love her. She picked this apple from the tree.
Yo, your mom is so super duper nice, yo. Super nice.
Yeah, she is. She's like, that's where I get my nurturing side from. I'm like, my mom a businesswoman too. She been through so much. Had stores on Concord Ave in Delaware.
Oh wow.
Like back in the day, my mom had stores in Philly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta do a part 2 of Angel, yo. We gotta do a part 2, yo.
And my mom was a sweet woman going through business.
Yeah.
What she wanted. She never had to fight for it. She was nurturing the same way and consistent. So that's part of the reason why I'm like, I'm gonna take that approach. And It's been working out for me.
Yeah. And they say people do business with people that they know and like. So you always gotta be a likable, kind-hearted person. That goes further than even having a skill. Like, because sometimes people just be like, you know what, something about them, they're not really that good, but I like them. Like it's something about right?
I feel like some of the people that I choose to work with is because I like them. Like I like you guys. So there's nothing Malcolm could say to me that made me question I don't want to. Even Malcolm was like, yeah,
Malcolm said some crazy shit, but
yeah, but it's like he's just Malcolm, right? He's likable.
Yep.
And I love how much he pushes me too, because he's like, Angel, you popping. You be acting like you ain't popping. You popping, Angel.
That's Malcolm all the way, man.
I'm like, what popping means? I don't know what that means. Like,
Malcolm like the best hype man, yo. Like Malcolm, like, that's one thing about like I'm attracted to energy. Like a lot of times, not about.
Yeah,
and besides, Malcolm kind of smart too. You know what I'm saying? He's
very smart.
Smart dude. But the energy. Yeah. So I'm big on energy, man. So I think that's one of the biggest things that people neglect when it's like if you're a likable person, you're approachable, and you have certain good qualities about you. Like people love that, man. They just want to be around positive energy. So people are so negative these days. Like even in terms of like people's mindset, like I'm turned off by the way people think.
Yo, you remember that there was a time in Philly where y'all, it's the same thing, Delaware and Philly, because it's like so close.
Yeah.
And there was a time where people would say like you Joe is shit or like you hype as shit. You remember that? And
yes,
they still say it.
Yeah, but there was a time though where you wasn't allowed to be happy. You wasn't allowed to be happy or like happy for people. They'd be like, you Joe is shit. Like, so my son's barber, we were talking about that. It was like, yo, you remember that time in Philly where it was like, because he's from Philly too, but it was a time where you could not be happy.
Or you can't even get Angel, like we was at Dell State. Like I fool with everybody. Philly, Jersey, New York, and certain people just be like, yo, you trying to fit in, you like Joe, and I'm like, bro, like, damn, y'all don't like people. Like, I want to.
But then guess what? Where are those people now? Where are those people now? Because I was the same way. I was cool with everybody from every city, and guess what? Years later, I'm cool with like people who went to school with me, who are doing things in the industry.
Facts.
For example, B Dot is doing a lot of things.
Big things.
We are good friends. I think me and B Dot text like every day at one point where we were texting each other for months because we buy stocks and we buy the same stock and we trading and stuff. So like he's like my stock partner. And then just every day, and I was just like, he was someone that I was cool with, but I was still cool with other people from other places, and they're doing things. So it's like, for me, I feel like relationships are important. They weren't taught to us as to why they were important back then, but people are getting it now.
Now like relationships is worth more than a mountain of gold or two, and I think that's
it is, because then guess what? If you got relationships and you get to that gold, you need to call some niggas to come pick it up.
Yep.
How you gonna pick it up? You're not gonna pick it up by yourself.
Facts.
So you can have a mountain pile of gold, but what you gonna do? Carry it yourself? Like you gotta still have a team of people to come and help you. So it's like relationships are worth more, you know?
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, yo, listen, we have to get like we need to do it because B Dot my guy too. Like B Dot, like
we gotta get him on here.
He always pick up the phone or he'll call me back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I never ask for nothing. I'm always trying to give value first, right? So if like I'm like, yo, B Dot, we doing this thing for Del State, I need you to host, I'm gonna pay you. Bro, I got you. Yo, I'm ready to do this joint with this bad boy thing, bro. I need you to be a host, I'm gonna pay you. So it's like a lot of people always asking for favors and not saying like, yo, let me give you something first.
Yeah. Well, hopefully one day y'all book me. Shit, I'm done.
Listen, we on it.
I don't mind. I love doing this. Don't mind me, but
listen, we on it. Like that's the goal. Like we wanna be able to put people in position, especially people that we know and like but now that's big. But yo, we need to start a group text because like even with the stocks, like I'm on Market Mondays every Monday with my man Ian.
Yeah.
I'm on there.
I watch Bloomberg TV every morning.
Yo, I'm on it. I got
Yahoo Finance. So
I got Barron's. I pay for Barron's like $15 a month. I get all the insider like.
Oh
like,
wow!
Everything. Like, I'm not. Listen, I'm not playing with the stuff like the stock game. Like they done messed up letting me in. They done messed up.
Nudie be on.
I'm telling everybody. Listen,
so that's what I'm saying. You got to get on this clubhouse so you can get on the stage.
I'm with it. I'm getting tons of money by telling people about.
We probably could do a black dollar. What is you guys call spending black matter?
We might as well make a. All right, so we might as well make it tonight then.
What?
Spending Black Matters.
Yeah, so then that's what I'm saying. I can create. You follow the club. I can create spending Black Matters event. Put it on the calendar, and I could invite Trapper and everyone to talk on it. We can all discuss it. I'll create it. So I follow you.
How many of these rooms can you create? Like I can create as many as I want.
No, the rooms just go on while they're live. So when you end it, you end it. But the clubs are things. So you need to apply for it. I'll show you how to do all that when we get off of here. I can tell you how to.
Yeah. All right, look, hold on. I'm about to put I want to put about I'm going to make a group chat with all three of us, and then we'll talk offline. But wait. We got to finish this up first. We've been on here for 90 minutes. Nudie.
No, but this is what happened.
Yo, this is good, bro. This is
great content.
This is great content.
They just got an inside. They got an inside look on how we actually talk to each other. This is what this is.
That's
I'm trying to group chat with all of us together right now.
Yeah, do that. So the book that this is a book by my guy. His name is Derek Reed. He's a master barber. He's a serial entrepreneur. The book is called Mindset Go. Right. So it's a lot of things that we're talking about now in terms of it's really in our mindset. Like a lot of people that the way that people think when you say you can't do something, then that's 9 times out of 10 you're not going to do it. But if you have the mindset that I'm going to do it, I'm going to be this, and the universe will open up. And I think it's really important that as much as people exercise and do a bunch of other healthy things, like reading is one of the things that I feel like is like a lost art. Like people don't read as much, especially and not just in it like books, right? Like I think people need to get back to reading books. But one of the things that one of these quotes he have in his book, he says, most people say when things get right, I'll make a move. But the reality is things get right when you make a move.
Oh,
right? So you have to actually make the move so you can see things clear. But if you're just waiting for the right moment, it's never going to be the right moment. I think the only time it was the right moment in history is COVID. Because people found time. Like when we didn't have nothing to do. It's like you couldn't go outside, you couldn't go to work, you couldn't. So now people's like, yo, I can't make no money. I've been wanting to start this clothing line. I've been wanting to start this marketing company. I've been wanting to start this daycare. And people actually was forced to do those things that they love and wanted to do
Without and the money didn't even matter. The money
And the money
it was a setback. Cause it was a setback for all the people that've been doing it.
Yeah.
But it was a head start for the people who've been wanting to do it. So for me, I was one of the people who had a head start.
Yeah.
What so Angel, I know like for us, for the lab, for me and Nudie, like when COVID hit, we was like, oh shit, it's we went up, right?
Up.
So for you on your end, how did COVID affect your business? How did that push you to the next level? Like what did it do for you?
I couldn't hide behind anybody. I'm a manager. I couldn't hide. I like being behind the scenes. I like
it left you exposed.
Yeah, you was exposed.
Yeah, people want to know like, okay, well, what you doing now since you can't go on tour? That what you doing now since Sian went back to Paris?
Right.
What are you doing? Like, so it kind of put me on the spot, and I immediately just took advantage of that shit. I didn't sit back, wait for things to get back to normal. I knew it wasn't gonna get back to normal. I knew it. Like once when COVID hit, I was like, this is not statewide. This is not countrywide. This is global. So the wave. If something happens here, it's gonna happen all the way over there in the world, and it's gonna come right back around and hit us again. That's how I was thinking. So it affected me where I couldn't hide. I was exposed. It's like, I'm here, guys. Oh shit. And everybody was like, well, what do? You do makeup? What you do? Hair? What you like? People just were trying to figure me out. Like, oh, who do you manage? Do you like they just want to know so much about me? People would DM me all the time and ask questions. When I was doing hospice fees, people would like hit me up and ask me for advice and want me to help them. I even got paid like consulting and helping people. Yeah, like just strangers, guiding them through their business ventures and things like that. So it was kind of like yeah, it was a crazy time, and I love it here. I love this space that I'm in. Yeah, I love it.
No, this is a good space. I think it's like the best of times and the worst of times at the same time, right? Because like it's that shift where I feel like it's shifting from big business to small business. It's either your Amazon or your Hustler's Feast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, there's no middleman. Like everything is being cut out. Like all that middle like part of business, I feel like it's either you're a big boy or you're a small business, but it's kind of like you're working your way up to be possibly that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's like we on the way. Like we gonna skip the middle part. Like we're still. I think the consistency helps. Consistency helps, man. Because like one thing.
It does help. It does help because
people don't forget about it. Like, yo, you still there? I remember you was doing stuff from
You know what?
From doing this to this to this to this to that. Now
I'm gonna tell you what. That right there is very true, because that is what kind of like I personally feel that's the reason why Meek had respect for me, because he remembered me from back in the day, doing the same thing that I was doing then now, hustling and grinding, and you know what I'm saying. So when he saw me in Houston at James Harden event, because I had talent there, he was like, yo, and he told Jazz, he was like, yo, I knew her from back in Philly. She was driving a Range Rover and I was walking. I didn't even have a car yet.
Right.
And that was like a big vouch for me, because he said it in front of people, that was probably wondering why he was so cool with me and nice to me and shit like that. So it was kind of like, for me, consistency and grinding is key. You never know who's watching. I didn't even think he remembered what the fuck I drove back in Philly. I didn't think he remembered that.
How about that?
He remembered that. He knew that, so it's like, for me, like I actually tell people that story all the time. It's just like, if you just stay true to your shit, you know what I'm saying? There's nobody that could come out and say, Angel, fuck this person, that person. There's no one that can say, oh yeah, I remember Queen Angel. No one could say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing they can say is she grind, she worked, she probably was, tough or whatever. There's some shit that there's probably some people that don't like me, but everyone have those, So you're bad at somebody's story, somebody's book. Somebody got a chapter about you that deems you as a villain. So it's like I probably have that too, but for the most part, I know I have a lot of good things that happen. Yeah, so I'm really happy about that. I'm excited about my future. I'm excited about my son's future because I'm his mom. Like I know he's gonna be so lit, you know.
Facts.
So
He
yeah.
he got the right guidance, man. I see karate and all that. My boy.
Words.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
So I'm getting him into basketball now. I'm actually gonna have him train with a friend of mine once a week to get him just to kind of like learn how to dribble and do different things because his karate, I mean his taekwondo classes started, but I don't trust the COVID protocol that they got going on. So it's kind of sad, but he's not gonna do that there anymore. But I'm gonna find another sport for him. I'm gonna probably actually call them and see what I need to talk to them. I'm like, what y'all doing to get this? Because there's a whole bunch of sweat and dirty kids and shit. I didn't know what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, I think they're gonna shut the country back down.
Oh
No,
yeah,
No,
it's no thing. They're gonna shut the country back down.
they are. I was thinking about getting him like individual classes to kind of like get him back up to speed because he haven't trained in like 7 months. The last time he trained was 8 months or 9, whatever it is, but he haven't trained since the end of March.
It's been a
wow.
long time. Isn't
Right.
California like level purple or some shit like that right now?
What's that? I didn't even know that's a thing.
See, yeah. If I'm not
I thought you were
mistaken,
talking about the purple belt and
yeah,
Taekwondo.
no.
I don't know what you were talking about.
With COVID, California's like level purple or some shit. Like y'all at like the highest level.
And not only that though, like because people here, we survive on social interaction.
Going out, yeah, functions, yeah,
Yeah, like entertainment is we entertain. That's the industry I'm in. So us being in the house is like jail, it's like torture. So
crazy.
people are having house parties, they're mingling, they're not worried about COVID. A lot of stuff.
That's wild. So what's coming up? What you got in your world? What's new? What can we all expect? And then second, after you answer that question, what stocks are you investing in? So just to let the people know, to give them a little insight.
Okay, so what's coming up is the House's Getaway. I'm working on that with Peak of Paradise. So that's gonna be a company collab that we're working on for 2021. Really excited about that. And
Go.
also Nia Lee and I were working on the 2021 plan for her to just go straight into 2021 on fire. So we're working on some things and trying to get her shit popping. And then we have like oh my God, as far as like my stock is concerned, I actually have a call with Wall Street because I text them like, yo, I need your help. So I gotta fix my portfolio because I have like he put out an ebook like a couple days ago. I copped it, read it, and I realized I was one of the people who bought stock off hype and not facts. So he's gonna help me with my portfolio because whew, I tell you, I need to work on my stock. I do a lot of like digital cryptocurrencies. I have like Mara on my portfolio,
Okay.
Nicola. I got Nicola on my portfolio. I have Tesla, Apple,
Yep.
a few other things, but those companies aren't doing so well right now. So I need to figure out how to leverage my portfolio so I can just have more green in a sense.
Yep.
So he's gonna give me some game on what I need to invest in, and I'm gonna go from there because I just need to fix it.
Yeah,
So
you got
I'm
any?
not an expert, guys.
Not yeah. You got any ETS?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I ain't gonna front, man. Like, I was patient. I think after like when I think I really got into stocks like last August. But what really was a turning point for me, one of my guys, man, I was listening to his dumbass advice, which made me like, I'm like, yo, I gotta find an expert. I gotta. Like,
Yes,
yo, listen,
that's what happened to me. Like I
how
know people
felt.
who are so good at it by themselves, but they can't teach or guide you.
Yo,
And I was like, this motherfucker gonna have me buy all this
yo,
Tesla.
I was doing good. Yo, look, with no Angel, listen, with guidance, I was doing great. Man, Kenyon, I ain't gonna say his whole name, but his last name Wilson, right? So, my man, yo, listen, I had Tesla when way back when Tesla was like, it had went up to like 700 or 800, but it dropped down to like 400.
It had dropped down to like 3 something.
It was 362. I caught it. I'm in the game. So he pretty smart, right? So I'm like, yo, like, damn, bro, what should I do, man? Like Tesla, it was real volatile. I didn't know what the hell would volatility mean and shit like that. I'm like, yo, man, this joint
Oh,
drop.
meaning like it could go like bad for you the next day.
I'm like, yo,
That shit
bro, so
happened with
like,
Apple.
yo, bro, I got some news. He said, yo, we need to sell Tesla, get out of Tesla. But I'm telling you, the batteries. I'm like, yeah, man, I sold Tesla. The next day, that shit went from 262, 400, 450, 6, 8, 9. I'm like, yo, man, when this shit coming down? Like, I'm calling him, I'm mad, but I had to be mad at myself because I wasn't educated enough to take my own sound advice. Nor did I seek professional.
You gotta get that book. You got it. I'm gonna send y'all the link in the group chat. And it's only $15.
I seen it. No. He just dropped it. He just dropped it not too long ago.
It's so good because it made me feel insecure with my portfolio.
No, don't get it twisted. Now my portfolio popping. Like I got. See my man Ian Dunlap. The motivated investor, I think, or something. I forget his name.
The master investor.
The master investor. Like, so he was telling me at first. I listened to him for a while before I did anything, but he told me, like, he said, "Yo, don't buy Apple when it's split. Wait till after the split is gonna drop." So he was telling me a lot of things, and everything he said.
Man, that was me. My actually the person who mentored me, he told me the same thing. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm buying Apple.
Yo,
and I bought it.
I did not.
Because you know what? I was excited that it was on my son's birthday, August 31st. It split.
Yes, it's split. So I waited. I bought some, but then I waited and I bought, more stocks. But so like
I did the same thing. I bought more.
Yeah.
When it dropped, so I can kind of even it out. So I can kind of get a gain, if that makes sense.
No.
So
yeah, like Wall Street Trapper, his advice is, what is it, dollar cost average or something like that? Like, his thing is just buy it. If it's a good stock, if you're consistently buying it, it really doesn't matter if it's a good stock, it's gonna go up.
Yeah, because it's not a bad company.
It's not a bad company. So like I've learned, like, listening to them, I learned so much. And I have a really good portfolio, but I'm gonna buy. Like, I have Tesla, I have Pfizer, Apple, Microsoft. I have a company called Glue. Like, we have a gaming company. So Glue is like
damn, that's good.
I think they have a lot of the games on the Apple store. They own 60% or something like that. So like, the Apple is jerking cats in terms of the Apple store. They're taking like, what is it, a third. or 60% of all like games. Like, you got to pay them.
That's why
Fortnite had a situation where Apple, they wanted to remove. Apple tried to kick them off because Fortnite was using their own platform for people to go straight to them to download.
But Apple takes all of the apps that's on the App Store right now. Apple takes 30% of their
30%, like, that's crazy.
Every app.
I never knew that. Oh yeah, I did hear about the situation, but I didn't know it was 30%.
Yeah, Apple out here crushing them. But that's something that we pay attention to. Like, when I'm a techie, so that's where I stay. That's my lane. But even when it comes to the stocks, I let Nudie.
No, I remember when I called you. He was on that game. Like, I think one time I FaceTimed and he was on his game. I was like, okay.
No, because it's a real thing, and that that's something that we could talk about later. Actually, literally right before I talked to you, Nudie was FaceTiming me, and then I started talking to you. We just so happened we talking about Meek. I was on Meek Clubhouse thing, right? And they're about to have a $35,000
cash.
Yeah, a $35,000 Call of Duty tournament.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I was like, this gaming thing is crazy. It's crazy, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
But it's amazing because like it shows that you don't have to be in one area. Like, people used to look at gaming as such a time wasting thing. Mm-hmm. But then once they realize that it keeps people in their homes, it connects people.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I believe anything that connects people is worth doing. So the internet, again, bringing gaming from a place where you're just playing a game, endlessly with no end game because you're not talking to anyone. I don't know how people was doing that, playing games like that back in the day. Remember We was playing Sega Genesis and
Sega
all that
Genesis,
stuff.
Nintendo.
No internet. We were just playing the game like fucking robots. Now it's like you're talking to people, and it's like, I think that's like the main part of interaction. So it connects people. So anything connecting people is worth trying.
Yeah, I no,
Yeah, it's entertainment.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, man. So like, I mean, like we always have good conversations, and I think that like we definitely gotta really, I think even with us making this group, like our goals are really, like we want to start like investment clubs. We want to start like how do we um really lock in and not just circulate our dollars, but how do we collectively put our dollars together and our resources to make conglomerates and make more money, make more
Yeah,
impact. And that's the even when
definitely.
it comes to political, like we've been really big in the last like maybe like 4 years on the political scene because we understand how much power it is in politics when you know how to play the game the right way. When you vote, like I always say, like our vote doesn't count. It only counts when we vote as a collective. We have an agenda, and we
Mm-hmm.
vote with our money, right? Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these politicians are bought. If Malcolm and I say Malcolm was donating money to you, you're running for local government is better than the presidential government. But that's another
Yeah.
story. But say if you're running for a city council or a senate, right? Like Malcolm donates, he gets a group of people. They donate $200 a piece, and
Hmm.
I get a group of people, or I just vote, and we have an issue. Malcolm calls you, and I call you. Who call you taking first?
Yeah.
Malcolm donated you money, and he had a group of people that also donated money, and they all voted. Or me, I just voted for you, right? Like you're
Oh,
obligated.
Malcolm.
Yeah. So and we don't as
And
African
they call what
Americans.
they call it, lobbying, whatever. Who
Well, I mean,
cares?
yeah, but it's like a pack.
But that's what it is.
That's the game.
That's the game.
It works in numbers. For me, I feel like, and I know we didn't talk much about politics, because we're about to whatever. But for me, people have to understand that it's not an emotional thing.
Yeah, it's
It's
not.
It's a
not.
business.
It's not.
So I don't get caught up in nothing emotional. I just don't do it. I
It's
don't.
it's people.
Like,
Politics is business, like, and a lot of people get mad. And they, oh man, Joe Biden and Trump. But at the end of the day, it's like if
cause
we as a
they clowns.
collective,
They both clowns. But at the end of the day, we have to go with the better option. And then on top of that too, um, I just feel like, with what I was seeing was, I was just like, whoever can just get the job done. If it's
right?
Trump can get the job done, then they need to put Trump in office. If Biden can get Kamala Harris to come in and do this job, then they need to put them in office. So that's how I was looking at it. I don't care that Trump be tweeting. Okay, I don't care that
Yeah,
he's not a politician.
he's
He's
a
a
he's a,
man
he's a
who
businessman.
got into politics. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a businessman that got into politics.
yep,
He's not he doesn't have a likable personality. So I again, it's not emotional for me. I
yeah.
don't care that he tweets. I don't care that he says stupid stuff. He's just, that's whatever.
and,
I
and,
don't
and
care that.
people don't understand, and just like you said, like a lot of the decisions that he was making, or things that he was saying, was solely based on business. There's no morality behind the business moves that he was making. So
Yeah, I don't
a
gotta
lot of
like you to
people,
do business with you sometimes.
right, a lot of people were expecting him to be morally correct, and I get it, especially when it comes to the plight of black people, are all those kids who was being taken by ICE, and all the crazy stuff that he said. I get it, but then pulling back those layers a little bit, like his decisions were based on business. And what's interesting, we're talking about stocks. Some of the things that Donald Trump would say,
That
if
tax.
you follow the market, and that stocks that aligned with what he, whether it was dumb or whether it was somewhat intelligent, right? If you just follow the market and you invested in those stocks, in which those industries that he was talking about, shoot up. Follow the market.
Yeah, right. And then on top of that too, there was I think it's called like the margin profit tax or something. I forget the name of it, but where he didn't want people to be taxed based on the income that they made from stocks that they invested in. And I thought that was
Mm.
fair because the market is volatile. You cannot, like, expect me to be paying tax on something that could just crash the next day. It was like that kind of like analogy. And I agree with that. You know, the Democrats didn't, but it's whatever. I think like them having Kamala is gonna be a good thing because of just like her, like if you look a little bit deeper into her history and what she's fighting for, she's actually like, you know, a good person to have a part of any team. So she saved that presidency. She's the one who that vice president.
Yeah. And black woman.
Yeah.
Black
Her and those
save.
HBCU people on that
Joe
campaign.
Biden, Joe Biden knew exactly what he was doing when he said, "Yo, either it was going to be Kamala or it was going to be
Stacey
Stacey
Abrams.
Abrams." Right?
Yeah.
So he knew
Oh
exactly.
yeah, it was gonna be a black woman for sure. You
Yeah.
know what's funny? I actually guessed that on my own, and then I heard people saying it. I was like I said his like candidacy and his running mate cannot look just like the it can't look like what the Republicans had. He had to make it like there's a visual representation had to be
Yep.
different.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah,
100%.
he needed because he's not a woman, so he needed a woman, and he's not black, so he needed someone black. So he combined the two and got a black woman.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's so smart. That
He-
like you said, that
he-
saved him. That saved him. Period. It was her. 100%. Agreed.
yep,
So,
yep.
yo, listen, great
My
conversation,
friend.
Angel. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
Listen, we gonna keep this going off. Like I said, there's a lot of synergy, and I think it's time for us to really connect these dots. Like, you know, it's so much money and
Oh, I agree.
all that's what we can do as a collective. Like I think and because Joe Biden is now president, selfishly, Delaware gonna be turned.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
Delaware,
That's like,
it's on. So
yeah,
so you know,
that's crazy.
it's on. So we're gonna get the keys to the city. We're gonna continue to drive the car and pick some people up on the way so we can really turn some shit up.
Agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Angel.
I need to get y'all popping on Clubhouse. So we need to figure that
Yeah.
out
Oh yeah.
too.
We about to figure that out. We about to.
Oh
Figure
no,
that
we're
out
finished now.
Yeah. No, we gonna do it offline. I'm gonna end live. We're gonna do it offline.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
Just for all the people who was listening, who's been tuned in with us for the whole time. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all follow us on YouTube, the Lab Coat Boys, and also subscribe to us. We're on Anchor. We're on Apple. We are on Google. We're on Spotify. So make sure you subscribe to the Lab Coat Boys. Also, you can follow us on social media, the Lab Coat Boys, everywhere. And Spending Black Matters. Right now, we're inside of the group Spending Black Matters. You can follow us.
25,000 strong.
We are 25,000 strong right now. We're looking to get to 50,000 before the end of the year. So please share, retweet, whatever. So follow Spending Black Matters.
Nikki J said she went in, yo. Whatever we doing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's time.
Nikki said she said, "Hey Angel, good evening. Hey Angel." So this is Nikki LJ in the group.
Yeah, so it's
Oh
time.
wait, is that that's Nicole? That's Nicole Lundy, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
that's my baby.
It's time.
See, yeah,
look, it's time for her.
It's time to connect all these dots. We need
to go.
Nicole. Yeah, listen, didn't I tell you? I said, we gotta get Angel on with us because she gonna get things cracking. She gonna get things cracking. So yes, but let's get this Clubhouse popping offline. But shout out to everybody who tuned in every Sunday, 7:00. What's the science? I'm uploading
every Sunday. We're doing this every Sunday. We'll have, whether it's tech. We're really big on like tech entrepreneurship is the main focus, but the whole goal is for us to give out resources, stories that you guys can relate to from relatable people. And the whole goal is to push the culture forward. And it's really our turn to really come together collectively, so we can really start doing things that we've done in the past and get back to our roots and really get to this money, get our mental health right, share resources, and put our families in a better position.
100%.
Right.
100%. Angel, stay on. I'm about to end the live. Like I said, shout out to everybody who logged on. This
and text my other number. My other phone broke.
Oh, Angel, where can everybody find you at?
Facebook?
Twitter,
Sure.
Instagram. Let them know. Website, all that good stuff.
It's I am Queen Angel all across the board. The power of branding. Keep the name the same.
Consistent.
I am Queen A. Yeah, I am Queen Angel all across the board.
You hear that?
Nudie, where they gonna find you at, bro?
Nudie 302 on Twitter, Instagram, Nudie Felton on Facebook, Nudie Felton on LinkedIn, and I still have not. I know I've been promising you guys that I'm gonna get on TikTok. I have not got on TikTok, but I will be on Clubhouse.
Oh my God, I'm a viral on TikTok.
Yeah, I can't. Like it's.
Yo, Angel went so crazy viral because it was controversial. It was controversial. She went viral and then she pop. See, you popping.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but TikTok, Clubhouse. I'm ready to get on this Clubhouse and get it popping. But it's still so much attention on some of these platforms and we're not utilizing it. So we got to get to it.
Yeah, I love Clubhouse. The separations of the degree of separations in relationships is like this. It's like one.
Yeah, we need that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, I think I just heard a text message go through on Nudie's end.
Yeah, mine too.
Seen it go through on your end. All right, so I'm
yeah. My phone is broke. So shit. Okay, so end it now because it's 2 hours.
Nah, this was 2 hours.
This was good. This was good.
Of all fire. Listen, they was like, yo, don't stop, keep going. This was fire.
Oh, yeah, because I'm it's Sunday. I'm cool. So
listen, man, like sometimes you gotta break the rules, man. This is the first time we went over an hour and 20 minutes, but when it's a good conversation,
it did not feel like that. It did not feel like 2 hours.
Nah, I went quick.
Yo, this might have been one of the like all the ones we had was really good, but I think like this was more like the most comfortable, I guess, because like it just flowed right. And I think like the conversation.
Yeah, I think because we already have like that synergy where we know each other and things like that, and then like on top of that too, it becomes so organic that you know what to ask me because we follow each other, we know each other's journeys.
Yep. These be the best conversations, man. But we feel like we're gonna keep this going offline. We gotta do more, even if it's just like regular lives, like we gotta do more of this. And like we got so much other stuff going on, and I think that like even with I know you did the what's the name with us this year, the Mill Summit.
The Mill Summit. Yo, that conversation was
listen, look,
really?
The surveys,
Angel, they are still they're still like
it.
Our panel was what they still talking about it now. Like, yo, that was like I'm getting emails like, yo, that shit was a really good panel.
That GPS mindset, Angel.
Yeah,
you got something. That's something.
Yo, listen.
Wow.
Yo, like a lot, like white people, black people, like corporate, like
that makes me feel happy because I had a phobia of speaking.
Really?
So yeah, like for the audience, like I like speaking in like groups, like with people, like in a room, but not like stuff like this or lives or like that's a fear I overcame during the pandemic. Like I was like, I gotta do lives. Like F that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy because I just remember us talking about that like March, April, where you were like,
scared.
You were like, yo, I don't know, I gotta get out of my shell, and now you're really, really, really flourishing from developing that, you don't have that fear anymore, and now it's like really opening up some stuff for you even more than before. So like, man, kudos to you, Andrew. You out here killing it, yo. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. So we but yeah, let's we on it. We gonna end this live. Angel, do you have any last words that you would like to leave the audience to think about, or to any reiterate anything, or just give them some type of word of encouragement? We have a lot of small business entrepreneurs here, so anything that you can give them that they can take away and help them fly.
No, definitely. If you are in business, even if you're not in business, business that you want to start. The business that you are doing right now, go to the next level, scale your business. Like, I feel like this is the best time to do things. Don't worry about money that will come. If your credit is messed up, like, don't be afraid to pull that shit and figure out what's going on with it, because if you do not have access to cash, you can definitely most likely have access to credit cards and capital that will help you get your business to the next level. So don't be afraid of credit. Start that business. That's like the only thing I feel like I can say that's very because I hate giving shallow like encouragement.
Right.
Like go pull your credit and go look at it. If it's bad, if it's good, use your leverage of having person power to get yourself into business and to start something that you've been wanting to do. Don't be afraid to take on that debt, because sometimes that's what we need to fuel our businesses, and to make sure that you have a good plan in place also, because you don't want to drive a business down in the drain because you don't have a plan or anything like that. But definitely pull your credit and look at it and see what you need to do to get yourself into business. If you don't need credit and you have cash, create a plan and still get credit, because you don't want to use all your cash.
Yep.
Other people money.
Leverage them.
OPM.
Yeah.
OPM.
Yep. Yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad. He talks about that, where you have to like use other people money to get to the next level. So loans are very good. Those are healthy debts. So yeah, definitely start a business that you're looking into, but just make sure that you have strong purchasing power. And that's looking into your credit, making sure that things are great. If you have some stuff that you need to dispute, you can actually do it yourself. You don't need to hire anybody to do it. So
that's a gem.
yeah, you can dispute it yourself. Don't be afraid. Sign up that little $19.99 a month and check your shit every month.
Y'all spend that at restaurants and going out for drinks and shit. Investing in yourself, man.
Yeah, investing in yourself and build that credit. Purchase that home, because there is man, this is a lot I could talk about. I probably need to do more lives on Hustler's Feast.
Yeah, listen, what she's saying, do that shit. Do it now. Those of you
do that shit
on the couch. Remember that commercial? What was that? It was like a college commercial or something. Remember that? My man was like, those of you that's looking at this commercial now that's at home, sit on the couch. Remember that? You remember that commercial?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a dude. It was
like
like a community college, right?
It was community college. Yeah.
Was it CDC or something like that? Or
yeah. So
it
yeah,
was like a
stuff like that.
school.
Yeah,
yep. School.
Like that, man. So that's
like back in the day. I remember.
Back in the day. So whatever you're gonna do, man, just don't think about it. Do it. Sometimes the hardest thing is really just doing it. Once you do it, you'll realize that it's not as hard or difficult as you thought it was. Just get in the game.
Right.
Get in the game,
definitely. So that's my advice, because I don't want to get no long.
Because we gotta talk about this shit offline. I'm about to
but I was just giving my
give him another 16, Angel. Forget what Malcolm talking about. Give him another 16 bars, man.
I don't know. Look, I'm about me turning red and shit. But no, it's just do your work. Like, do your research. Get your credit together. Like, you can fix that shit yourself. If it's something's wrong with it, you can call creditors yourself. Don't be afraid. Pick your phone and be like, what do I owe you? No, I don't. There's so many things that you can do on your own to actually get yourself together. So that's like the main thing I could think of right now, because that's what helped me throughout the pandemic. And then that's it. Read to your children. Look at read Black history and know why Black history and the Black dollar matters. So
Birdman hands.
Yeah. Look up Marcus Garvey. All right, that's it.
Yo, Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
So
that's all I got.
All right, listen, man. We got everything that we needed from you, man. And so did the people, man. So we appreciate that. On that note, thank everyone for tuning in. Angel, we thank you dearly. This was a great show. And we can't wait.
Yes, I'm excited.
Keep the
I'm
energy.
excited about this.
For sure.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for
Absolutely,
having me.
we appreciate you. Hold on, Adrian. Don't push no buttons yet. Hold on. All right,
ladies and gentlemen.
out. Peace.
Peace out.
Bye.